Hey there. It's Monday morning. We got some breaking news on a later than usual episode of Who the Hell Asked. Byron and Slade here. And Slade, what's the breaking news that we have that you just told me about before we started recording?
Yeah, so Fandom, you know, pretty well known website. I guess notorious would be the word I should use there for their
Yeah,
horrible website and ads and whatnot.
horrible wikis of things, but go on.
Yeah, they acquired GameSpot, Metacritic, TV Guide, Game FAQs, Giant Bomb, Cudquarters News, and Comic Vine under a $50 million deal.
Yeah, god damn. Yeah. In a deal with digital marketing company Red Ventures, is who Fandom bought all this from, and yeah, when Slade told me about it, like, about 10 minutes before we started recording this week's episode, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because we were prepared to start talking about
Some other
news
depressing
that we'll
news we'll
cover.
get to in a moment after this, but Slade
But
told
then I'm just sitting here just like, yeah, well, it's a shame we're recording the episode late. And then I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot this morning this happened. So let's talk about it a little bit.
yeah,
So
so, Fandom. For those who don't know what Fandom is, it was founded in 2004. It hosts more than 250,000 user-curated wiki pages spanning the worlds of pop culture, gaming, TV, and film, with 300 million active users. And, yeah, they acquired all of these properties.
yeah,
It
and this is really unfortunate because that means that these websites are about to get blasted with just ads everywhere.
well, GameSpot already had a lot of ads, so
That is true, but the Metacritic, Game FAQs especially, like, oh god.
yeah, people you were telling me, Slate, people were like, "Oh, fuck, this is the end of game FAQ."
I mean, yeah, probably. I've heard a lot of people talking about taking all of the walkthroughs and whatnot for like lots of video games and whatnot, and just creating another text-based website and putting them on there instead. Because that was the one thing that was really nice about Game FAQs is it was one of the best places to find like tutorials and walkthroughs for video games.
In text form, of course.
Yeah, in text form, that is.
Yeah, because obviously YouTube is the powerhouse when it comes to video walkthroughs, but yeah, if you don't know, GameFAQs was acquired, I think, eons ago by GameSpot?
Yeah, so it's part of the GameSpot acquisition. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, but, ooh. But yeah, Fandom Productions, the content arm of Fandom, will be housing GameSpot, TV Guide, and Metacritic, which, Slade, I never thought I would be saying TV Guide so much in 2022. I didn't even
Yeah,
know
I
they were
didn't
still a
either.
thing, to be honest with you.
The TV Guide channel? Yeah,
God,
probably.
yeah. Oh, and the
That's
TV Guide
crazy.
mag? God, that if you don't know what that is, you're too young. I'm
I
joking. Uh,
remember it was old Channel 11 back in the day.
for me, it was Channel 22.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, TV Guide, basically, TLDR, TV Guide showed you what was on TV. It was literally a guide to TV. But
Yeah. So,
yeah, what do you think of all this?
honestly, it's kind of crazy. I was not expecting to wake up to, Metacritic's probably the hugest thing that they acquired here, in my opinion, that
Absolutely.
and GameSpot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just overall, I don't know exactly. I imagine this is just going to be done just so that they could get a lot of ad revenue because these websites have a lot of users. In fact, I heard somewhere that these sites collectively get like 46 million like monthly active users.
Yeah, that is what the article mentioned. The sites collectively attract 46 million monthly active users, and that's combining GameSpot, Metacritic, TV Guide, GameFAQs, Giant Bomb, Cord Cutter News, and Comic.
Yeah, so this to me is just an attempt to put ads in front of a lot of people. So,
Yeah, a mid eight figure deal.
it's
Roughly,
getting harder and harder to escape from ads on the internet no matter where you go.
yeah,
So,
God. But Yeah, this is gonna
Let's
be. I'm curious to see how like Giant Bomb, Metacritic, and GameSpot and GameFAQs turn out because of this deal. If they're basically gonna be like it's gonna be like hands off, or if it's not gonna be hands off. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know, but the future of some of these sites is gonna look like something. Whether it's good or bad, time will tell, but leaning more towards bad because
Speaking of
fandom.
bad futures, let's
Oh
go
god.
ahead and go into our next topic.
Thanks, Slade, for a me level transition.
Google Stadia is officially shutting down its service.
And that's right. So, a few days ago, we got a message from Phil Harrison, the vice president and general manager of Stadia, a man who is associated with the failures of the PS3 and the atrocious failure of the Xbox One. So, not a great track record.
Honestly, how does this man keep getting jobs? I don't even know.
But yeah, so basically, they were saying for many years, they had been investing in multiple aspects of the gaming industry. They're grateful for the dedicated Stadia players. They will be refunding all Stadia hardware purchases made through the Google Store and all games and add-on content purchased made through the Stadia Store. Players will continue to
Probably
have
the only good news there.
yeah, no Stadia Pro subscription refunds though on that. Uh,
Nope.
but yeah, players will continue to have access to their games and library and play through January 18th, 2023, so they can complete final play sessions. We expect to have the majority of refunds completed by mid-January 2023. The underlying tech has been proven at scale to transcend. It'll be used for others. Oh, the Stadium team, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Stadia is shutting down. Not unexpected, but for some, including myself, took longer than we thought.
Yeah, I definitely thought that Stadia was dead in the water all the way back in 2021 when they shut down the games entertainment division.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, they also turned down an exclusive Death Stranding sequel
Yeah, so
from
normally we don't
Kojima.
normally we don't really cover rumors, but we thought this one was interesting enough and there is some credence behind it because Kojima recently announced he was working on something unique with Microsoft back during the Microsoft and Xbox game showcase, and there's some theories that people think this was what was going to be on Stadia. So yeah, uh around 2019, Google was going to partner up with Kojima for a follow-up to Death Stranding, which imagine that, Slade.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy, and the reaction to it's actually kind of crazy too. Because I didn't even know anybody was playing on Stadia, but I guess there were. There's a fan with 6,000 hours in like Death Stranding or something,
That's
and he's like begging anybody who will listen to find out how to transfer his fucking save data.
if he's such a big fan, he'll just play it again on a different platform.
I guess so, right?
But yeah, sources told 9 to 5 Google that Kojima was meant to be a Stadia exclusive follow-up, a game which initially launched PlayStation. Death Stranding was an asynchronous multiplayer game. The proposed game would be strictly a single-player experience, but according to sources, it was the single-player nature that led Google to cancel Stadia's collaboration with Kojima, with the company believing there was pulling an EA over here, no longer a market for solo experiences. Which is
Wow.
bullshit!
I mean, literally, fucking Elden Ring and fucking Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok coming out.
Kirby Forgotten Land, like a lot of the great indie
Wow.
games coming out. Like Google pulled NEA, but yeah, we thought that was an interesting little aspect. But back to more Stadia stuff. Google answered some frequently asked questions.
FAQs.
Yep. Second time we've had a story involving FAQs.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, Some games will have will there be cross progression? Depends on the game. Will all games work as suspected? There should be. Do you have to return the hardware for a refund? No. Most hardware purchases, including the Stadia controller, Founders Edition, Premium Edition, Play and Watch with Google TV packages, made directly from Google, will not need to be returned. More details on how to obtain a refund for your Stadia hardware purchases will be posted in the coming weeks. No refunds for... we will not be refunding Stadia Pro subscriptions. Players who held an active Stadia Pro subscription as of September 29th will not be charged for access to their Pro library or other subscription entitlements during the shutdown period, which is interesting. Yeah, basically you can't purchase things anymore. If you have a gift card, keep an eye out with instructions on how to choose a new form of payment. Blah, blah, blah. But Slade, did you know that developers were even caught off guard with Stadia getting shut down?
Yeah, I had heard a little bit about that. So, long story short, I know there's a lot of developers launching titles that were pretty much just completely blindsided by Stadia shutting down. I know, I think Brandon Sheffield or somebody.
Yeah, Brandon Sheffield of Hyper Gun Sport took to Twitter, quoting that apparently Stadia had the best dev revenue of any streaming service, and launching Hyper Gun Sport there was going to recoup the dev cost, which is interesting to note. That is an interesting thing to note. We had Coatsink, the developers of The Last Hero of Nostalgia. They were sad at the time. We're unsure how this will impact titles. Wired Productions were like, yeah, obviously, tweeted that. But yeah, even developers were caught off guard by this, which is not surprising, but also like shocking a bit.
It's still sad.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
wouldn't you let your developers know that, like, hey, yeah, we're gonna be shutting down soon? I guess not, but yeah, RIP Stadia 2019 to 2023. I think, anyways.
And thus continues Google's absolutely dog shit track record with all things video games and technology.
Yeah, like the mobile gaming, like their Play Store like subscription equivalent to Apple Arcade, that's doing okay, it seems. They haven't shut that down yet. But yeah, maybe Google should just stick with being the platform, the video platform for gamers. It seems,
Yeah.
because their streaming services isn't looking good. And speaking of things, Slade, that aren't looking good, we have a funny story. So, it was found out from the managing editor for GameIndustry.biz, a reputable gaming news website. He pointed out on Twitter, Mr. Brandon Sinclair did, that it has been 5,234 days since the first Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer, which surpasses Duke Nukem Forever as the longest game from announcement to release. What do you think about that?
That is absolutely crazy. Byron, how long is that in years? That's like 14 years, isn't it?
I think 5,234 days is about like 14 years?
Jesus Christ.
About 14, 15 years? Yeah, it's crazy.
That is nuts. So, long story short, this was announced all the way back in, I want to say 2017. No, I'm not 2017. I'm sorry, 2007.
Yeah, 2007, 2008, I think. Yeah, and we still haven't heard a peep from Beyond Good and Evil 2 since, what? I want to say like 2018? Maybe?
Yeah, so clarification, that was towards the end cycle of the PS2 and the original Xbox, so we were just getting started with the Xbox 360 and PS3 era.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so just some a little brief food for thought right there.
Just-
Enjoy for that little bit of news, but we actually have something good to talk about today in the midst of all this absolutely meh to like shattering news. E3 is back, baby. E3 is back in action. And we got some new details about that, including the physical event, which will be taking place from Tuesday, June 13th to Friday, June 16th at the LA Convention Center. Uh, the first 2 days will be for business, for the gaming media, and then the third day will be a mix of both, and then the final day will be for consumers. Thoughts on that?
uh, honestly, it seems like that the new leadership from I forgot the company that
Reed
acquired
Pop.
E3.
Reed Pop.
Yeah, Repop is doing a pretty fantastic job. It seems like they kind of got the gist of what people are wanting for, both people in the media as well as developers. And, fans who want to come out there to, play the game demos and stuff like that, kind of like separating it out.
Yeah, I think
Overall, looks fantastic.
yeah, I'm surprised. The ESA, who were originally the runners of the physical event, I'm surprised they never made like a couple days like purely for the gaming industry and developers and the gaming media. I guess it took
Uh,
Reed Pop to be like, yeah, maybe we should give the like gaming media a few days to themselves.
Yeah, and I imagine this is probably something that like it seems obvious in retrospect, but
Yeah.
maybe it just takes the right person or the right leadership to, really think of these ideas and then, follow through with them. So
Yeah.
honestly, this E3 is looking to be a lot better than previous E3s in terms of quality of life for all of its attendees.
Yeah, so a few more things to
As
note.
long
They
as
will
they
be
don't leak everybody's or
yeah.
dox everybody,
Yeah,
they
please
should be
don't.
fine.
Yeah, please don't leak people's information. Reed Pop, you have a good reputation with the PAX events. I don't think like all the Comic Cons, but I think they run like a few of the big like Comic Con events in the U.S.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the LA Convention Center will be divided up into two halves. The first half of the building will be dedicated to obviously the gaming media, game developers, all that stuff. And then uh, there's hope to reopen Kentia Hall, part of the LA Convention Center, which that will be for business attendees. The other half will be the spectacular E3 you're used to seeing. If Nintendo's there, you're going to have a big display of some kind, maybe still themed after Tears of the Kingdom, even though that game will have been out for like a month at that point. Which that something I want to point out. That's weird, Slade. We're gonna have an E3 without a major Zelda game there because it'll already be out. Tears of the Kingdom will already be out by that point.
Yeah, and I imagine that Nintendo's not going to spend too much money trying to push the game after it's already come out. But who knows?
Who knows?
It wouldn't be the first time they've done something completely out of left field for the playbook.
Yep. And there will be a dedicated meeting spot where attendees can connect using the E3 app and hold meetings. Of course, you can still pop up over to the Marriott, catch up there, but now you don't have to, and all that. So we actually have some good news about
Yeah, out of all
E3.
the bad news happened this week.
Yeah, like I think with Reed Pop at the helm of the physical E3 event, and with Jeff Keighley having his own physical event next year for Summer Game Fest,
Yeah.
I think we finally have some competition, which is it's going to be interesting to see like how both events do, which developers go to which event, which gaming media go to which event,
Yeah, I get the suspicion that E3 is probably going to get most of the Eastern, like Japan and whatnot based developers, whereas Jeff Keighley's event's going to get more of the Western developers and whatnot, with the exception of some stuff like Hoyoverse and all that.
Yeah,
They're probably going to also be at
y-
Jeff Keighley's event as
yeah,
well.
they seem to be dumping the money back on.
Yeah, they seem to have something going on every Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
So.
But it's nice that there will be competition. It's never a bad thing. It makes both
No, it's always a
events
great thing.
better. But yeah, so Slade, what is our last story of the week?
Alrighty. Let me get it pulled up here, because this is going to be a bit of a doozy. I think I lost it, Byron. Son of a gun.
So, all right,
Okay, I got it.
Okay, you
So,
got it.
Overwatch 2, we've all heard about quite a bit coming into this game. I think we've talked about it previously on this show.
Yeah.
Not very positive.
Yeah.
So, Overwatch 2 is introducing something called the Defense Matrix Initiative. Now, you might be thinking, what is that? Well, it's kind of a program that forces players to, before they could go into like ranked game modes and whatnot, they have to play through, how to explain it? Kind of like how League of Legends forces you to get level 30 before they allow you to play in like ranked game modes and stuff like that. You have to play through a smaller collection of game types to help players like learn and whatnot before they're tossed in with like the competitive community, which can be very toxic for any video game, honestly.
Yeah. So as Slade
Not
as
just
Slade
one.
mentioned
Go
there,
ahead.
all that stuff. It's called the first time user experience is what that portion is called, which is not a unique thing, as Slade mentioned. LOL
Yeah.
uses that. So yeah, you won't have all the heroes. You will have a limited set of game modes, heroes, and other restrictions. You will need, I believe, 100 matches to unlock everybody. And you will need to win, I believe it is 50 quick play matches to unlock competitive, which I think that's fine. It's not anything new. So, but Slade, there are two other things that that people have been a little bit mad about. Huh.
Yeah, first you mentioned unlocking characters. Let's actually talk about the characters specifically. So, when you start out the game, you're gonna have access to, I want to say, 15 characters.
Yeah.
Actually, not even that. It looks to be a lot less. And then there's going to be 19 unlockable characters. Half of those characters, in fact, not just half, about three-quarters of those characters were previously playable in Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
With no additional changes. So obviously people are pretty upsetty spaghetti about that.
Yeah. Well, that will only be if you have just created a account for Overwatch 2. If you are an Overwatch 1 owner, I believe you will not need to go through the first time user experience.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That's probably the bare minimum they could do.
Yeah.
Another thing that people are upsetty spaghetti about is the phone requirement for the
Yes.
game.
So,
Let's get into that.
yeah, let me explain first off. So, SMS Protect, as they are calling it, it brings meaningful change when it comes to disruptive play. Starting October 4th, 2022, all players across all platforms, including consoles, are required to have a phone number attached to their Battle.net account to launch Overwatch 2. Same phone number can't be used on multiple accounts at the same time. Players can't use the same phone number to create multiple accounts. And phone numbers, including prepaid phone numbers and VoIP phone numbers, cannot be used for SMS Protect.
So this is probably to do some things like combat the overwhelming amount of smurfing that happens in competitive games.
What is
I'm also
smurfing?
guilty.
Yeah, what is smurfing
Alright,
for
so
those who don't know?
smurfing is when you create a new account so that you can play with new players or players who have not climbed or are not very good, so that you could basically just absolutely dunk on them. And it's a pretty insidious practice and whatnot. It's also kind of funny. I used to do it all the time, as much as I am ashamed to admit it. Um, yeah, so basically, it just imagine if you're a pro player in any game.
Yeah.
You're getting matched up with other pros. You create a new account and you get matched up with newbies or scrubs.
Yeah.
Obviously, the newbies and scrubs aren't going to have any fun.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the reason why people are upset. That's probably the only positive.
Well, some people are upset, but like that'll naturally happen with that. I like I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it should be optional, but you know what? Whatever. If it combats smurfing even to a degree, then I guess it worked. But the other thing people are pissed about is machine learning and audio transcriptions. So, audio transcript. So the Overwatch team will be expanding the detection capabilities by introducing audio transcriptions in the following weeks after launch. So what is an audio transcription? Well, an audio transcription allows the Overwatch team to collect a temporary voice chat recording of a reported player and automatically transcribes it through speech to text. I almost said text to speech like a lot of Twitch streamers have. But speech to text. The text file is then analyzed for disruptive behavior by the chat review tools. Once the audio recording has been transcribed to text, it is quickly deleted as the file's sole purpose is to identify potentially disruptive behavior. The text file is deleted 30 days after the audio transcription. The system relies on players reporting disruptive behavior as soon as they encounter it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know
they're
how
going to
to
be
feel.
recording you talking while in game. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're going to delete it after 30 days and whatnot. That is if you take Blizzard at their word.
Yeah.
That not only they're going to keep it for 30 days, it's only going to be reported behavior.
Yeah.
But they're not going to turn around and sell that audio recording to like companies or like even using it themselves to advertise things to people.
Yeah,
Like,
it could be. Now keep in mind, this is only if you use I believe, this is only if you use the in-game voice chat system, because
yep.
they wouldn't have access to like TeamSpeak, Discord, Skype, whatever you want to use. But yeah,
either way, it's pretty scummy.
yeah, like
I think this is one of those things where like I think there needs to be laws passed to prevent companies from getting this kind of power, but like because we have a bunch of boomers in office, it just won't ever happen.
yeah.
I honestly think that this is really bad.
Yeah,
this is something
like
that people need to talk about more.
There's definitely ways this could be used for scummy purposes. I'm going to wait and see, like, because obviously this isn't launched yet. At the time this episode is up, we're I think a day or two away from the launch of Overwatch 2, and probably like a couple weeks away from this feature being a thing. So I just want to see the feature like in action first before I personally give any thoughts on it. But it does.
Yeah.
But like you did mention some good points. Like it doesn't look exactly great, if I'm being honest.
No, like I said, maybe they keep to their word and that's all that they use it for. But
Yeah.
even the thing is, most speech to text programs aren't even that accurate.
Yeah, look at YouTube's caption system, and you'll get some funny stuff.
Yeah, so imagine like if it's just straight up wrong.
Yeah, like you could be watching this video. You know what? Turn on the audio caption on this video right now, and it'll probably correct one of the words incorrectly to something else.
I mean, at bare minimum, like a few words, right?
Yeah.
So like imagine like you just mass report somebody just for the hell of it, and the speech to text, even though the person probably didn't say anything offensive or something like that,
Yeah.
could misinterpret something, and then boom, just voice chat ban or ban.
Yeah, so like while it doesn't look great, of course, and you brought up some great points, Slade. I kind of want to see like the system in action in the real world first before I give like a more definitive thought on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's more just along the lines of trust and whether or
Yeah.
not if we could really trust Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, can you trust Blizzard
to record people and fucking make sure it's only limited to like reporting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
and
to me, with their track record, the answer is hell no.
yeah, and hopefully there's no like big like data breach or anything like that, because that could be atrocious for the game.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's it for this week. A last minute breaking news story. Well, last minute for us breaking news story with Fandom. Stadia shutting down. Overwatch having some potentially controversial features, but hey, at least E3 is looking good next year. So
That's true. At least E3 is looking good. So this has been Slade.
and this has been Byron, and we'll catch y'all next week for that hot gaming news and gaming discussion. See y'all later.